The envelope felt cold and impersonal in my hands, just like the silence that had filled my house for weeks. My name was typed neatly on the front, but I knew, with a sinking certainty that started in my heart and spread to my fingertips, that whatever was inside would shatter the beautiful life I thought I had built. I stood there in my grand, empty kitchen, the woman who had everything, about to learn the price my own daughter had put on it all. My name is Anya. For most of my life, success was a distant dream. I was a single mother, working 2 jobs to give my daughter, Priya, the opportunities I never had. We lived in a small apartment where the walls were thin, but our bond felt thick as armor. I remember saving for months to buy her a new school bag, watching her face light up with a joy that made every sacrifice worth it. She was my entire world. Everything changed when I started my little home-based catering business. It began with biryani for a neighbor's party, then word spread. A decade of relentless work, missed sleep, and countless recipes later, that small venture grew into a successful gourmet food company. We moved from our tiny apartment to a beautiful, spacious house. The thin walls were replaced by large windows that looked out onto a garden. I could finally breathe. The best part, I thought, was that I could share this comfort with Priya. I paid for her top-tier education, her car, her travels. I never wanted her to struggle like I did. She was my partner in joy, or so I believed. She would often say, "Mom, all your hard work paid off for us." I should have heard the possessive hiss in that word, us. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday. Priya had started working for the company, handling client relations. She was brilliant at it. I was so proud. We were in talks for a massive partnership, a deal that would secure our future for years to come. I had a meeting scheduled with the investors. An hour before, Priya called me, her voice strained. "Mom, don't come. They canceled. They said they'll reschedule." I was disappointed, but trusted her. It was only a week later, by pure chance, that I ran into one of the investors at a cafe. "Anya," he said, "we were so disappointed you didn't show up last week. Your daughter gave a stunning presentation on her own, though. She's quite the visionary." I felt the world tilt. She had deliberately kept me away and taken the meeting herself. When I confronted her, her eyes were cool, detached. "I was just protecting you, Mom," she said. "You're getting old, you get tired. They needed to see fresh energy." And just like that, the daughter I knew began to fade, replaced by a strategic stranger. That incident was just the beginning. The chill in our relationship became a constant winter. Priya began making more decisions without me. She hired a new, aggressive marketing team, sidelining the loyal employees who had been with me from the start. When I questioned her, she'd sigh, as if I were a slow child not understanding a simple lesson. "Mom, you're being sentimental. Business isn't about friendship." I started feeling like a ghost in my own company and in my own home. Our family dinners stopped. She was always in a meeting or too busy. The large house, once a symbol of our shared dream, became an echo chamber of my loneliness. I'd sit at the dining table alone, the clink of my cutlery the only sound. I found bank statements for an account I didn't recognize, with large transfers to a corporate entity I'd never heard of. My questions were met with deflection. "It's for a new project. Don't worry about it." The trust between us, once the foundation of my life, was crumbling, and with it, my peace. This was more than a family drama. It was a quiet, systematic takeover of the life I had built. The truth finally revealed itself not with a shout, but with a whisper. I was looking for a pen in Priya's old study, which she now used as a home office. In the bottom drawer, tucked beneath a stack of old notebooks, I found a sleek, new folder. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were draft legal documents. The heading made my blood run cold. Proposal for Priya's Kitchen, a new venture. It outlined a plan to launch a competing brand. And then I saw the most devastating part. Listed as the key asset transfer was the secret recipe for my signature spice blend, the very heart of my original success, the one I had created in that tiny kitchen so long ago. She wasn't just sidelining me, she was planning to take the soul of my life's work and walk away with it. In that moment, the fog of confusion lifted, replaced by the sharp, painful clarity of her betrayal. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. A strange calm settled over me. This was no longer about my hurt feelings. It was about protecting my legacy. I quietly consulted a lawyer, an old friend who knew my journey. I learned my rights. I began meticulously gathering evidence, emails, financial records, the secret documents I had found. I reached out to my most trusted, longtime employees, the ones Priya had pushed aside. Over quiet cups of tea, I learned the full extent of her plans and the discontent she had sown within the company. Together, we formulated a strategy. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclamation. We decided on a date for a special board meeting, a meeting she knew nothing about. I spent those days not in anger, but in quiet resolution, preparing to save the dream I had built with my own two hands. The day of the meeting arrived. Priya walked into the boardroom, expecting a routine update. She stopped short when she saw everyone there, my original team, my lawyer, and me, sitting calmly at the head of the table. I saw a flicker of panic in her eyes before her mask of cool confidence returned. "Mom, what is this?" she asked. I spoke softly, but every word was deliberate. "This is a meeting about the future of my company," I began. I laid out everything, not with accusation, but with simple, undeniable facts. I presented the evidence of her planned competing venture. I showed the financial discrepancies. The room was utterly silent. The climax of this real-life story wasn't a dramatic showdown, but the sound of her ambition crumbling under the weight of truth. She had nothing to say. The realization that I knew, that I had outmaneuvered her with the very dignity she thought I had lost, was her ultimate defeat. Priya left the company that day. The legal process to secure my intellectual property was straightforward once the truth was exposed. It was a quiet, unceremonious end to our professional partnership. Our relationship, of course, was fractured. We don't speak often now. The house is still quiet, but the silence is no longer lonely. It is peaceful. I rebuilt the company culture on a foundation of respect, not fear. I learned a painful lesson about love and ambition. I learned that sometimes the people you love the most can see your success not as a shared joy, but as something to be taken. You can build a beautiful life, but you must always be the one who holds the keys. A mother's love is unconditional, but her legacy is not negotiable. If this emotional story resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world. Subscribe for more real-life stories of love, loss, and quiet strength.